Hello, welcome to Columbus, Ohio. I am Rachel Miller and this is Color Splash. It's a glorious fall afternoon and I thought I'm going to get out my paints and have a little bit of fun. So I got out just a few colors for me. I think I only have like 10 or 12 of them out. I usually have like 20, which is ridiculous, I know. I just have a problem saying no to any color, it seems. So, I am doing shades of blue, and I'm just going to do a classic black hole blowout. So, I am going to start with Shocker of Shockers, my Payne's Gray. I hope I watered these paints down enough. They've been resting for about an hour. I only mixed them an hour ago. My other paint just was getting too icky. The paint that's been sort of sitting in my closet for a while. I've been able to use the heck out of it though. No matter how much I seem to use, I never seem to get to the bottom of it. So I clearly made up way too much that day a few weeks ago when I was mixing all my paints. Anyway, I am just starting with a basic 5-petal flower shape, and I am doing this on a pillow of pearl paint. That means that there's both satin enamel and acrylic in my pillow paint, and right now I am using about 40% satin enamel and 60% acrylic. And I take that number, add it together, multiply it by 1.5, and that's how much Floetrol I use. I know that sounds really complicated, but just pretend like the acrylic and the satin enamel is one part. So if I used a 1/4 cup of each, then the total would be 1/2 cup. And so then I would use 3/4 of a cup of Floetrol. So no, I don't mean that. I just confused myself. Oh my goodness. I would use, I'm sorry, if I used a 1/2 cup total, then I would use only 1/2 and 1/4 cup. 3 1/4 cup spoonfuls of Floetrol. Sorry, did not mean to confuse everybody. I just totally blanked on my own recipe. It's super confusing, I will admit that. So that was Payne's Gray by Arteza, and now I'm putting down Brilliant Blue by Amsterdam. I absolutely adore this color. And I'm somewhat layering the colors on each other, and I'm also bringing it down into the white as well. I kind of want them to touch and not to touch all rolled into one, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't. I'm so sorry, my brain is mush. It's the end of the day. I've been busy with puppies all day, watching all the neighborhood's puppies, and it's just been a long day. This is King's Blue by Amsterdam. It pairs beautifully with the Brilliant Blue. I love using them together in pieces. I think they work beautifully together. And I think I am going to grab my Turquoise Green by Amsterdam. I'm layering in a totally different order than I normally would. I've kind of gotten into set patterns and habits with my paints, and I'm trying to sort of change that up a little bit. Like normally I would always put down my neutral gray and titanium buff color right with my Payne's Gray, but today I decided to put them in later And I would normally put my sky blue in next, but I think the turquoise green will look pretty. I know they're just subtle differences, but they do make a difference in the final outcome often. So next I am going to come in with my sky blue color. And this is also an Amsterdam paint. Kind of always start in the center of the flower and then work outwards. So that way if any blobs come out, they'll come out in the center. And then I think I'm going to use a tiny bit, just a tiny bit of Prussian blue in the center and a little bit Prussian blue can definitely overwhelm a piece in a hurry. So I don't want a lot, I just want it to have somewhat of a presence. And now I'm going to put in my custom color that I have nicknamed Parakeet. And I really don't want a whole lot of this Parakeet color. It also will overwhelm a piece. And let's see, I think I'm going to put in my titanium buff. And I am going to kind of fill in the center of these petals with the titanium buff color. I always use this color to add a lot of dimension and texture to the pearls that I'm hopefully going to be creating today. They really highlight, and they add highlight and low light to the pearls. And I especially like to use it in conjunction with the neutral gray and the Payne's gray. So I'm going to come in with a little bit of the neutral gray, or a lot of it. I'm going to put it a little bit around each little section of titanium buff. And then I think I'm going to get some lines of it through the flower petals as well. Usually I use a whole lot of this color. I'm definitely going a little easier. And then I'm going to add a little bit of Pebeo Naples yellow. Just up here through the petals. I really don't want it to touch the parakeet too much because that will turn the parakeet into this neon color that I don't love. And I think I'm going to come back in and redo a little bit more of the Payne's gray. I feel like you can almost never have too much Payne's gray in a black hole blowout. And then I'm going to do a couple of the blues, just a little bit more. This is the Brilliant Blue by Amsterdam. And the King's Blue by Amsterdam. And then I'm just going to put in a little bit more of the turquoise green. And then we should be good to go. I mean, I guess there's real no rhyme or reason to why I pick the colors I pick. I just pick colors that I genuinely like and think look pretty together, and that's that. I definitely have never done any color theory or anything like that. I think I'm actually also going to add just a little bit of this Pebeo Iridescent bronze, just a little bit of it. And I kind of like the idea of just dripping it. That way it's sort of spread throughout randomly. All right, so now I just need my cell activator, which is Amsterdam Lamp Black mixed with Australian Floetrol. And I'll be honest, this is not my favorite batch of cell activator I've ever made, but it's the only cell activator I've got. So I'm gonna use it. I am waiting on a delivery of Australian Floetrol, so right now I am sort of stuck with working with what I've got here. It just is a little bit, the consistency isn't quite perfect for me. It's close, but not perfect. If I had more Aussie Floetrol, I would probably add a little bit more, but that's okay. So I'm gonna grab my little blow dryer, and on the low cool setting, I'm just gonna blow this little guy out. Oh, shoot. There we go. So pretty. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. Now, I know there's a lot of black on here, and you're saying, what are you talking about? This can't possibly be what it's supposed to look like. No, it is not going to look like this for very long. I can just tell by looking at how it's developed so far that it's going to look prettier and prettier here as I start working on this. So in order to close up some of this black hole, what I'm going to do is take a handy dandy skewer and a clean paper towel, and all I'm going to do is gently dip my skewer into the paint, in through the cell activator till I touch bottom, and then wipe it off on my paper towel. And what I'm doing is I'm simply kind of breaking the surface tension and allowing the paint that's hidden below the cell activator to rise up to the top and kind of show itself. I'm not using any silicone, no coconut oil, nothing like that. All I'm doing is allowing the paint that's hidden down below to rise to the surface. That's all I'm doing. I get that question all the time, so I feel like I say this in every video, but I just want to make it clear. I'm absolutely not using silicone here to make these pearls. I'm literally just using a plain old skewer with nothing on it and dipping it through my cell activator. And what I get are cute little pearl cells that will continue to grow as they develop. And this is my way of sort of closing up this black hole. Now, just to be clear, this black hole would shrink on its own if I didn't do this. The cells that you're seeing around the outside would work their way inward and start to close this hole up on its own. But I am definitely closing it further than it would go naturally And I'm getting to kind of dictate exactly where the pearl cells end up. And I kind of like having that sort of control over the finished piece. Because, you know, this art form has there are a lot of things that aren't within our control in this art form. So anything that I can make within my control, I like to kind of do. So sometimes I work in a circle, sometimes I work in sections. Just depends on what I'm feeling in the moment. But oh my gosh, guys, this is already looking gorgeous. I haven't painted for a week, and I always feel out of sorts when I haven't painted for a few days. But the results are certainly looking excellent. Now you'll notice some of these little white dots take a little while to pop up. Some pop up right away, and that's literally the paint coming to the surface. Some can take up to 20 seconds to rise. So if I don't see a white dot after about 20 seconds, I will return to that area and hit it again. But I do want to give it a chance before I go back. I can see tiny, tiny little white dots starting to emerge here, but they may need some extra help. We'll see. So as you can see, this black hole has diminished dramatically. This cell right here popped up by itself, and it is so gorgeous. I really love it. I kind of want it to be able to stand alone the way it is and have black around it. So I'm going to leave a little bit of space around that pearl cell. Some of these cells are just outrageously gorgeous. I cannot wait to take you guys in to see this up close. The pearl cells have, so many of them have these blue, like shades of sea glass type halos on them. They're gorgeous. Like this one, oh my gosh, the halo on that one is outrageous. And you can see how tiny these little pearl cells start out, but they grow across time. Like these were really tiny too, and they've already grown substantially. I'm going to use the back side of my skewer to try to elicit pearl cells this way. As I get in towards the center, the cells become a little bit more difficult to sort of get to rise to the surface. So using something with more surface area to it will often do the trick. Ooh, I've got this beautiful eye shape, right? I think I'm probably gonna stop right now because I love the way it looks with this negative space here in the center, and the pearl cells that I've got going on are just gorgeous. Let me just quickly scrape these edges, and then I will take you guys in for a closer look. I think you're gonna absolutely love this. Wow, that one pearl cell is almost deforming the paint around it. That's wild. It's kind of creating a scoop. Interesting, I've never seen that happen before. And here we go. Look at, oh, focus, focus. Doesn't want to focus for me. Look at how beautiful these cells are. I wish this would focus for me. I mean, it's close, but it's not quite. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, look at how gorgeous this piece is. I mean, is this not beautiful? The colors are just heavenly. And that one cell right there, it's wild. It's almost created an indentation in the paint. I've never seen that happen before, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Let me get my light in closer. Look at how beautiful these pearl cells are. The halos on these are just outrageous. I mean, they are stunningly beautiful. Just stunningly beautiful. Look at that corner. That corner is gorgeous. And do you see the green lacing right in this area? The lacing is just gorgeous. I wish this would stop going out of focus. There we go. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I've had so much fun making this tile. I'm going to move on and make another one. So I hope you guys hang around and watch the next video that will be coming quite soon, because I am going to do another, I'm going to take another run at all these colors and see if I get a little bit more paint on the tile, what that is going to look like in the end result. So thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to click like and subscribe. And as always, happy painting, y'all. Bye.